Welcome, welcome. I know that we all have things, in this case, other cases that really just, bug us. We're like, oh, if only I could get the verified answers. But unfortunately, we can't. So we kind of have to try to make sense out of the limited amount of information that we do have. So I've been combing through some of the interviews that Kaylee's family had done, just trying to make sense of some of this. And they have really provided us with quite a bit of information. And by doing this, it really has helped me try to make sense of some things. Because what's really been bugging me is Murphy, the dog, and what happened to him that night. So my question was, why was he there that night? And in kind of going back and I can kind of put together a scenario that does make sense. But then there's another scenario that leaves more questions than answers. There is still a lot of mystery as far as Kaylee and Jack D's relationship. When did they break up? How long have they been broken up for? I guess it's now coming out that it was only like 3 weeks or so prior that they had split. But again, that's rumor. And I know that they did get Murphy in December of 2021. So when they got the dog, were they still a couple, or did they decide to do this co-parenting thing as friends? Kaylee's mom and sister say that they were doing really, really good. They were, yes, they were on a break, but there was no animosity, and they were on their way to getting back together, even though Kaylee was moving to Texas. And she was planning on taking the dog. Per an ad that she had posted in October of this year, she did state that she was looking for a roommate and that she does have a very sweet 20-pound dog that would be living with her as well. It appears that she was looking for a 6-month lease. So does that mean that, she would be moving back after the 6 months? Or was Jack maybe planning on moving out there? Who knows? So on the day of the 12th of November, I'm not exactly sure what was going on during the day. I think that Olivia had a timeline set at 10:15 p.m. when they actually took the Uber to the corner bar. So as for what the girls were doing earlier that day, I'm not sure. So if Kaylee had Murphy, that means she would have brought him, and that's why he was there while they visited. And her and Jack talk every day. Wouldn't he know that she was coming and that she would be bringing the dog? And he probably, would want to see him. But we really don't know what any of those plans were or anything like that. So that would mean that Murphy was, in the house by himself until the roommates maybe started showing up between 1 and 2 a.m. And initially when I thought about that, I'm like, how weird if she's just coming for a visit and she's planning on being out and about all day, why bring the dog? But I guess the plan was that she was going to stay in Moscow until about Tuesday. And so that makes a little bit more sense that she would want the dog with her. Inside Edition did an interview with Olivia, Kaylee's sister. And Olivia was saying how the girls did use the buddy system. They Ubered both to, the bar and then back home. And she could see that, Kaylee had let Murphy out to go to the bathroom and then lock the door. And my question was, how would she know that? I do know that Olivia was very instrumental in getting a lot of the, the timeline and the video footage of at the food truck, the Uber driver information, as well as I think a ring camera from a neighbor. So that may be how she could see when the girls got home and could see them letting Murphy out to go to the bathroom. Earlier rumors were saying that the dog was possibly sleeping in the roommate's bedroom with them. And I could see that, them being the first ones home that night, and then maybe them letting the dog out. And if the camera is, facing towards the front of the house, then it would make sense that the roommates, let the dog out right in the front because it's on the first floor, and then went to bed from there. Or if they didn't take care of the dog, and once the girls, Maddie and Kaylee, got home, maybe the dog was already on the first floor and they let him out as well on that first floor, and it was caught on camera. But then it was also reported that Murphy was in another one of the rooms, and that room wasn't specified. I just assumed it was a bedroom, but who knows. But was it because maybe he had a crate in there and they kept him in a different room, or did they just put him in the room? I don't know. I don't know. Or was he put in by somebody before the murders? So then that scenario that I came up with would make sense if Kaylee had the dog, and why the dog would be there. But the other scenario would be, what if Jack had the dog? Because they're co-parenting, who's to say it wasn't his turn, or however that worked out. Another thing that does stick in my mind is how Jeremy Reagan, one of the neighbors, says that he always saw the dog over where it's speculated that Jack D lives. So if Jack did have Murphy, then there would be no reason why Murphy would be at the house that night, unless Jack did see those messages, those texts of wanting him to come over, and so he ended up deciding on going over, and he decided to bring Murphy with him because Kaylee did want to see him, so she would definitely have let them in. And now there's the footage of Kaylee and the white hoodie guy and Maddie walking from the corner bar to the food truck. And to me, Kaylee does sound concerned, and maybe even upset about what Adam may or may not know. And it's just speculation on my part, but I would think it could definitely possibly have something to do with Jack. And you could then see her on her phone. She could be just, scrolling through her phone, or she could have been texting somebody. The interesting thing is the only texts that were mentioned were between, right before 3:00, where she was really trying to reach out to Jack. And I'm kind of wondering if she was maybe trying to do that at the food truck as well. Kaylee's dad also did mention again how Kaylee, had wanted Jack to come over, and even said, "We share a dog together, please come over." And he said it did not sound like the girls were in fear or afraid of anything. And I would agree with that. I mean, these are very intelligent girls. If they were worried, or they, thought they were in danger, I'm sure that they would be calling 911 rather than, Jack. So what kind of stands out to me is, I don't see you being super scared one minute and then falling asleep the next. So my question is, if Jack did have the dog, did he then come over early that morning? Did he bring Murphy with him? Is he really okay with their breakup? Is he really okay with her moving to Texas and taking the dog you know, with her? Is he really okay with whatever Adam, you know, may have told him? So there's just so many different things going on at this time. So please let me know what you think. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. Be safe out there, and I hope you have a great day.